What's going on, folks? Ted from Immersion here, and if you're looking for a awesome product to make designing your campaigns or your adventures or possibly even your own fantasy novels, if that's something you're into, or just storytelling in general, easier, quick, and pretty fun to do as well, I have a product here for you called the Oracle Story Generator System, and this is from our friends over at Nord Games. By the way, thank you to Nord Games for sponsoring this video and also sending this over for me to check out. Now, if this rings a bell to you, you may be familiar with the Oracle character generator system, which is something I covered when it was launched on Kickstarter a couple months ago. And that was more for creating characters. This is more for designing stories and plot hooks and things, which you can obviously combine the two and then use the character generator to create NPCs, where this will kind of give you more your narrative beats. So there is a couple different versions. There's this box version that you see here, and it kind of showcases everything here on the back. It's pretty hefty, and then inside of that box are 5 different tarot card sized decks. It also comes with this great kind of quick start guide, which we'll talk about. And then here's the inside. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's your 5 decks with room for an expansion up here. And then this is just plastic. This will come out if you need to. What I really like about this is it not only gives you the instructions and sort of a guide on how to use it, it also includes several pre-written adventures made using the cards that are contained inside. Now, you can just get a PDF version if you want just the digital copy of that. It'll cost you 25 bucks. 50 bucks for the box that you saw there, and there is a bundle price for 62. However, stick to the end because I will have a discount code here in this video that you'll be able to use on this or really any other Nord Games product that you would prefer to check out. So, because I have a digital version here, rather than me just read from this and read to you, let's go ahead and open it up here, and we'll look at it together. So here is, again, you can see it's basically exactly what I showed you on the in-person version, and here it is broken down right. Instructions, these are all annotated links as well. Storyteller's Guide, it has all of the different, the one thing that you notice you won't have in the physical version are these 4 chapters, right? Contracts and bounties, epic adventures, political intrigue, relics, and artifacts. Those won't be here, and I think simple side quests is the other one. Yeah, because those are the actual cards. So if you were to scroll to those sections, that's actually the cards, whereas if the physical version, you would just use the cards themselves. All right, so let's talk about the instructions, right? So it is split into 5 independent themes, and they kind of go as such, right? Contracts and Bounties is more for mid-tier play or medium fantasy novels involving tracking down a monster, some sort of monstrous humanoid. Epic Adventures is high stakes, high fantasy. This is kind of, you know, end of the world, whole novel concepts or an entire campaign. Political intrigue is for where you're dealing with a little bit more nuance and dealing with what's going on with people in power. Relics and artifacts, these stories created in this theme all involve some sort of magical or wondrous item in the possession of, being used by a character, often for nefarious purposes. And then simple side quests seems pretty self-explanatory. This theme has a slightly different format than the others. It's designed to create straightforward quests with lower stakes and challenge levels. Each theme is split into 5 sections: actor, action, subject, intent, and development. Roll on the D12 table at the start of each section and combine the titles to create a 1-sentence summary of the story. For added detail, you can roll on or choose from the options in the D4 table for each result. The provided below is from Epic Adventures. The actor card is a celestial. The action card is will dominate. The subject card is a realm. The intent card is to become a ruler, and the development card is but will be undermined by their most dedicated followers. So the 1-sentence kind of elevator pitch for this is: a celestial will dominate a realm to become a ruler, but will be undermined by their most dedicated followers. And that could be a very high-level descriptor there for a quest, could be the overarching story for a campaign, you decide. And then it goes on to the guide itself. It says, this brief guide is intended to help you create stories and narratives using the Oracle Story Generator. So it says, each card from the Oracle Story Generator represents a broad category of something, whether that be an actor, action, and so on. These broad categories are stated clearly by the card's title, but that's not all you'll find on the cards. Following the title is a brief description of what the category means, which should give you some inspiration. The text is a cross between a definition and an expansion. giving you hints to wider connotations. Following the text is a table with 4 options. Each of those can be considered a subcategory of the overall card title you can choose from to roll on, and so on. And it has arcs versus encounters, and then gives you a little bit about the 3-act structure here of the way you could typically kind of conduct either a movie or maybe in this instance an adventure or campaign, right? So it says the 3-act structure made popular by Sid Field in the 1979 book Screenplay, The Foundations of Screenwriting, relies on a central dramatic question for the narrative it creates. The dramatic question for our example card might be, can the characters defeat the Celestial before it dominates the realm? This can be ascertained directly from the card results. From here, this 3-act structure splits into the questions into 3 parts. So we say we have our 3 acts. Act 1, the first act is used to establish the story and set up the context for it occurring. The storyteller will probably set up the priesthood and the Celestial and their relationship with the realm they exist in. They can give the characters an opportunity to experience the world and so on. Perhaps they witness the aftermath of a celestial attack firsthand. Act 2, the characters should attempt to overcome the inciting incident, but unfortunately find themselves up against the larger challenge posed by the dramatic question. This is known as the rising action. Typically, to overcome the threats posed by the second act, the characters must unlock some new information about the situation or themselves, gain new skills, etc. These all should sound relatively familiar if you've watched any kind of movie, really, of any kind, anime or what have you. And then the final act features the climax of the story and its resolution. The main tensions posed by the dramatic question come to the fore, and the characters must confront all of them or fail. And then it goes on to have the different aspects here. So, like I said, I have physical cards. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead here. And as you can see, the cards are, you get quite a few of them. They are tarot size. They all have the different art on the back for the different types here. So this is simple side quests. And on the top of the front of the card here, you'll see development. That's development. Intent, subject, action, right? So you have all of those different options. So we can go ahead and build one using these cards right here if we'd like, or we could do it digitally. Well, you know what? Why don't we do one physically? Because I have the cards, and then we can look at one of the pre-written adventures here, determined digitally. So to use the book, it says the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull a card. We want an actor, an action, a subject, an intent, and a development. So we're going to go to the actor cards. It looks like it's about, again, it's broken up accordingly. So we have our actor cards. So each one of these actor cards that I have here has one of 4 options. So, I mean, where this interactive, I tell you to pick a card, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm not looking. I'm just going to grab this card right here. So I have a priest. So it says, holy folk who channel the divine into the mundane for a living. Priests are those who work at a grassroots level with the community to forward the agendas of the gods. And we have 4 different options here. We have pious, fraudulent, peaceful, and unholy. And this is the opportunity where we could roll on here if we so chose. It says, you know, again, each theme is split into, there are 12 options for each, so you could roll a d12 and then choose randomly, or just pick a card in this instance. And then for added detail, you can roll a result on the d4. So we have a priest. We could just leave it at a high level, just a priest. But we could make him an unholy priest that says this acolyte is working for some dark power, perhaps in secret. They wish to spread evil, though their methods might not be obvious. So we've got a priest. All right, so now we're going to move on from the actor cards to the action cards. And again, we'll have 12 here. And we could roll a d12, but I'm just going to kind of fan them out and pick this one. Needs to discover something in. So it says the party needs to find something on behalf of the actor or with their assistance. The exact nature of the item or its exact location is unknown. So, all right, this is our action, and it says we have 4 different options here. We have secret, ancient lore, lost item, or hidden location. So a priest needs to discover something in. Then from there, we're going to move on to our next card, which will be the subject. So here is our subject cards. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side. We're going to fan them all out. I'll shuffle them up since I did see one of the names. And we'll go over here on this side. Grab this one. A kobold-packed mine. So, okay, a priest needs to discover something in a kobold-packed mine, and then the option here, it says, the scions of true dragons, kobolds make their homes in caves, mines, and other subterranean locations. They only fight on their terms, fleeing from combat they cannot control. And then we have 4 sub-options here. We have dragon wormling. They're tasked with rearing a dragon wormling. The numerous traps, prepared, or draconic magic, right? So this could be they're raising a wormling, they have a whole bunch of traps, they're prepared for people to show up, or one of them has access to draconic magic. Then after the subject card comes the intent card. Get to the intent here, right? All right. So we're going to go ahead and fan out our intent cards, and we'll grab all the way here on the end. To lay foundations. Okay, interesting. The actor, or someone they are working on behalf of, seeks to start building something that will change the face of the world. They need help to get the ball rolling. And the options here are trade route, harbor, fortress, or village. So, a priest needs to discover something in a kobold-packed mine to lay foundations. And then we have, lastly here, our development cards. All right, we'll go back in sort of the middle. But they are walking into a trap. Okay, it says the actor does not realize that they are headed for a trap. They do not have all the information they need to achieve their intent, and they will be paying up, and will end up paying for it. And the options for this are literal, ambush, reputation, or framed, right? Are they literally walking into a trap? Are they going to be ambushed? Are they going to get framed? So our storyline comes out to be a priest needs to discover something in a kobold-packed mine to lay foundations, but they are walking into a trap. So perhaps let's not make him unholy. Let's make him a pious priest needs to discover a lost item that's in a kobold-packed mine where they're rearing a dragon wormling to lay foundations for a trade route. However, they do not realize that is actually an ambush, and the dragon is actually like using the kobolds as like a front, and the mama dragon is going to come back or something like that. So you get the point of kind of, that was just like a high-level run-through of how this might work. Obviously, you could mix and match and be like, you know what, I don't particularly like that situation. Let me go ahead and change it. Let me pick a different area. I'll switch the subject out, or, you know, maybe just grab something else. And that's, again, part of the beauty of this system is you could just find yourself be like, ooh, I really like the concept of the priest needs to find something in the kobold-packed mine, but maybe you're like, to lay foundations is dumb. Maybe instead it's to amass treasure, which would make a lot more sense, right? If the priest is like, okay, we got to go into this kobold mine, and it's because they want to get treasure, and they want to get treasure, but there's a hidden foe. Maybe the treasure's the horde mimic. Maybe the dragon's underneath all of the treasure and it's like a Smaug situation. I don't know. But that actually ends up being a more interesting story than the first one we created. But that took us, what, just a couple of minutes to pull the cards? And honestly, if I was just doing this by myself and not reading them out, we would have whipped through this a lot faster. So let's head back to our digital version here. And like I said, if you were to scroll down to the section here, is like, this is all linked. So if you were here on the actor, we got a priest. We're in contracts and bounties. So that was just simple side quests. We could have done something significantly higher level. Oh, by the way, they do have bookmarks, which is important. So we can go ahead. What if we were to go to epic adventures, right? We want to go to something super high level. Okay. Here is our actor, right? We have all of this stuff. We could say, okay, let's grab, I don't know, a mythical monster. All right, and then we have the options: Kraken, Tarrasque, Giant, Chimera. Those are the different options. Okay, so a mythical monster. And then here we have all of these options. Let's say will enchant, and that could be immediate, short term, long term. So a what do we get? I already forgot. A mythical monster will enchant a war machine. Okay. To become a ruler. But they are unexpected but they trigger divine retribution, right? That could be a campaign level defining event, depending on how you frame it. So pretty interesting stuff. Let's go back to the table of contents, and we'll go pull up a pre-written adventure. So you can see here they do actually have them determined out by the different areas, right? So contract and bounties, we have learn your scales. Epic adventures, we have all of these. Political intrigue, simple side quests. So let's do the worm has turned. All right, so here it is. It says a metallic dragon will destroy the government to get revenge, but they must first acquire a hidden relic. So a metallic dragon will destroy or erase the republic-based government to get romantic revenge, but they must first acquire a hidden relic weapon. It says, years ago, the brass dragon Indirax fell in love with a human politician. Unfortunately, in recent weeks, Jarek has called off the relationship in order to focus on his political career. He's been elected head of the local republic, a job that he feels requires his entire attention. In retaliation, the dragon has decided to take revenge on the government, erasing it from existence with a reality-altering weapon, the Razor of Time. Of course, the Republic serves the common good, and it would be a disaster if it were removed from existence. So, we have adventure hooks here, right? It kind of just defines it out a little bit. The characters are within the city. The adult brass dragon was known to be a partner of the new ruler here, Republic leader. He flies into a rage and brings low several important government monuments. The dragon flies off before doing any real harm. When it reaches the Shrine of Reality, where the Razor of Time is stored, Ustag the Everlasting issues a realm-wide call for assistance. The golem has been off. The golem has seen off the dragon once, but fears he will not be able to do it again. So now we have two great plot hooks. We have a couple of NPCs, right? We have this golem, we have the dragon, we have the Republic leader that they were having the relationship with, and it kind of gives us our 3-act structure here as well. All right, the adventure begins shortly after the Jarek ends the relationship. In a state of extreme upset, the dragon was recently caused or is causing a nuisance in the capital city. Jarek is worried that the dragon, what it might do, asks the characters to pursue it to ensure he doesn't do anything crazy. Following the dragon leads the characters to the Shrine of Reality, where they meet the golem. The golem claims that the dragon is after the Razor of Time. He fears that if he returns, he won't be able to stop him. In the second part of the adventure, the characters must decide how to deal with this dragon. They might decide to pursue the dragon back to its lair to talk with it, or help the golem defend the shrine. They might even decide to temporarily move the Razor of Time to a secret location where the dragon can't access it. No matter the approach they take, the characters must act fast before the dragon returns. If they try to talk the dragon down, they need every ounce of charisma and persuasion skills they can muster. It's clearly upset and is willing to do anything to restore the relationship that it had with Jarek. Only the most understanding or silver-tongued characters stand a chance of calming a dragon. If the characters defend the shrine, they need to fight the dragon using non-lethal methods in order to assure it cannot get at the Razor of Time in the shrine. If the characters decide to move the weapon, they need to do so quickly and carefully. The weapon is extremely dangerous, and the dragon has access to scrying magic, so it might be able to find it anyway. And then in Act 3, by this point, the characters should hopefully have thwarted the dragon's plans to erase the Republic from existence and have calmed the dragon down. In this final part of the adventure, the characters might decide to serve as mediators between Jarek and the dragon to soothe their injured hearts and ensure that they find peace. Alternatively, perhaps there is still a way to have the relationship continue if the characters may take some of the weight of governance off of Jarek, basically offering to become civil servants in that aspect. And again, even just for the pre-written adventures, as each one has 5, right? So you can see here under Epic Adventures, we have Save the Sphinx. We have Blast from the Past, The Worm Has Turned, On a Sword's Edge, Flames of Conquest. So each different type of adventure kind of grouping has 5 different pre-written adventures for you to possibly use. I like how they're outlined, and I like that they're using the concept of the 3-act structure to teach you kind of how a little bit about adventure writing. And the fact that you can just mix and match these, like I said, if you have the character generator cards, you could also use those to your advantage, and then use that to help flesh out some of the NPCs if you so choose. Here is the Nord Games website. You can see the Oracle Story Generator box here is $50. The Oracle Story Generator PDF is $25. And the Generator bundle here is $62. If you wanted to order a set to have more for like your retail purposes, they do have that as well. So I did promise you that I would give you a coupon code here at the end. So with that being said, there'll be a link down in the description, and you can use code TED to get 20% off of your copy of this, or really any other Nord game product that you like. Perhaps you've seen other books from Nord Games in the past. They have a ton of really awesome Kickstarters that they've done over the past couple years, and I am going to be reviewing a lot of their products over the coming months. I think I have a couple right here, actually, I can show you. I have 2. Oh, God, they're heavy. God, they're so heavy. I have Spectacular Settlements here, and I have Dangerous Destinations here. These books are, I mean, like, look at the size of these books. These are hefty. And, like, they probably weigh, like, 2-3 pounds each, maybe even up to 5. But either way, like I said, if you'd rather get one of those books and not the Oracle Story Generator, the coupon code works regardless. So again, link in the description, and use coupon code TED at checkout to get 20% off whatever you'd like. So thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this in the comments down below. Have you used the Oracle Story Generator before? What are your thoughts on it? I think this, like I said, I think this is definitely the core one that'll probably get a lot more use out of than, say, the character one. But, like, combining the two could be very useful. But I really like this quite a bit. I'm curious what you all thought. If you've used it, if you've looked at it, or you're curious about it one way or another. Really just your general thoughts on it, let me know. Or if there's any other, you know what, for folks who maybe already have it or aren't really sure, are there other Nord game products out there that you would suggest for folks? Leave your suggestion for your favorite Nord Games product in the comments down below. Maybe people can use that as an opportunity to use the coupon code as they see fit. So, again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.